Hi, and thanks for joining us here at Rose Quartz Mediumship podcast, where we simply adore anything and everything healing and metaphysically based. There is a deep form of meditation that I do, and one of the blessings of that form of meditation is that it creates a space where I'm able to see myself and this human experience very differently than I typically view it. It is a form of meditation where I just go deeper and deeper and deeper. And as I do that, there is a state of surrender that happens. And every single time that I have done that form of meditation, that I've been able to get into that very deep place inside of myself, one of the things that I experience is this recognition that I am everything and I am nothing, and that time doesn't exist in the way that I perceive it in my normal life. And there is no time, and there is no space, and everything is happening all at the same time, and yet none of it is real. And every single time that I go into this form of meditation, there is a remembering that I'm a soul having a human experience. And that this human experience is like the best video game I've ever played. It is so incredibly realistic. And without that, I wouldn't get to experience the magnitude and depth of all of the emotions that I get to feel while being human. I think that my truth, which doesn't have to be yours, is that we're all a soul having a human experience. And it's like somebody asked us if we wanted to go experience all of the emotions. We would get to feel them all. And of course, our answer is yes, I want to experience that. I want to get to feel all the feelings. And yet when we're here having the human experience, we're in resistance to so many emotions. The ones that we oftentimes will put a label on as bad or somehow negative. And whenever I come out of this form of meditation, I come out with a lot of awareness. But I also oftentimes come out with some sadness. And the sadness is really rooted in one aspect. I really love my life. I love my family. I love my boys. I love my spouse. I love my friends and my business and this earth that I get to live on and all of the amazingness of being human. And when I go into this space of I am everything, there's a sense of oneness and nothingness all at the same time. There's this disorientation that can happen for my human mind, my egoic mind, where there's sadness. That these people who I love so much don't exist. They're just another expression of me. And the other night, I was coming out of one of these meditations, and it was the first time that I'd come out without a profound sense of sadness. Instead, I came out recognizing that this is the best video game that I can play. And I kind of get two choices. I can either be sad and disoriented by the fact that I am everything and I am nothing all at the same time. Or I can make the choice to love the experience that I'm having. I can either be sad that my children don't really exist and my family doesn't really exist and my business doesn't really exist and this place that I am doesn't really exist. Or I can look at it through a different lens. If I'm so sad every single time that I have this awareness that nothing is real and everything is real all at the same time, and we're just energy, it means that I really genuinely love my life. And so I really kind of get two choices. I can either be sad that these things are not real, or I can recognize that what is real anyways. And I could just love it. I could just love the experience that I'm having. And so this was the first time that I really came out of one of those meditations and didn't have this deep sense of sadness. And I had this moment as I was coming back to my body, as I was coming back and really grounding into the earthly plane, where I wanted to reach out to a meditation mentor who I work with and explain to him that I had really gotten it, that something had released, and I was no longer feeling sad about it. And in the moment that I was like, yes, tomorrow I'm going to write to him. And then I said, but he doesn't exist. I'm just talking to myself. And I had this moment of sadness. It was my old pattern, right? And I believe wholeheartedly these patterns inside of us die. And as they die, they show us little places that they still exist. And so I recognized I'm only talking to myself. If I reach out to this meditation mentor and I explain to him how I understand this differently, a different layer to the onion, that he doesn't exist. I'm just talking to myself. And then I decided I get the choice. I get the choice to decide whether or not I like talking to myself through this expression of myself, which I view as outside of me, as separate from me. And I can't have the same lessons and I can't have the same experiences if I view everything as myself. So I get to enjoy this sense of separation that is allowing me to heal and grow and expand. And I get to enjoy it. It's a conscious decision. Even though I have the awareness that he doesn't exist and I don't exist and we're all just one and nothing is real. Everything is real. I get a choice. Do I want to enjoy every second? If I come out of this meditation and I am so sad because the thought of losing it, everything that I have in my life that is so beautiful, if I'm so sad at the thought of losing it, then why wouldn't I make the choice to love it, to pick it, to choose it, to be unapologetic about it, to stop complaining about any of it? Any of it. They're all just lessons and healing that is happening for me. And I'm creating a sense of separation so that I can understand it better. And then I was laying there integrating that meditation and still kind of in and out of meditative space. And I thought about an event earlier in my day that had gotten me a little agitated. And I had lost energy because I was focusing on this thing that wasn't going that smoothly. And I was very much aware that I needed to make a choice in the situation. And because I wasn't making the choice, I was kind of stuck in this place of slight agitation, which is an enormous waste of my joy. And it really hit me. I was feeling guilty about making a choice that was right for me, because I was worried about the consequences to these other individuals. But then I had to remember a couple of things. One, they made choices, right? Here's the very human side of it. They made choices that are now making me make choices. And I can't be responsible for that. I can only be responsible for making the choice that is right for me. And in making the choice that is right for me, I am learning the lesson that is attached to that experience. And so if I stop viewing anything as negative at all, they're either experiences that I'm loving or they're lessons that I'm learning, and I love learning lessons. I love growing. I love being a better version of me, a more clean and pure version of me, a more authentic version of me, a more congruent version of me. And so then it becomes very non-emotional. I make the choice for the lesson if I'm in a situation where there's clearly a lesson to be learned for me. And it is in the resistance to the lesson that I create my own discomfort. And I believe in law of attraction. I believe the frequency that you are in attracts the experiences and the people that you have in your reality. And so if I just make the choice to love every aspect of my life, either I'm loving it because it is amazing and is an experience that I'm really enjoying, or I make the choice to love it because it's a lesson. And I love lessons. I love growing. I love healing. I love being the most authentic version of me and getting to explore that, getting to figure out who that is and allowing the space for that to change as I change and as I grow. And if I really sink into this model where I'm either loving the experience I'm having or I'm loving the lesson that I'm learning that will bring me into experiences that I genuinely enjoy, then from a law of attraction standpoint, I am attracting a totally different frequency of experiences and people into my reality. Because there is something magnetic about loving your life. There is something magnetic about joy and happiness and inner peace. And so, as I laid there, drifting between worlds of meditation, everything got so simple. We're only here having this human experience for a blip in time. It's just a moment. It's a fragment. It's so small. And I get the ability to enjoy every second of it. And when I genuinely enjoy every second of it, it's going to change my whole reality from a law of attraction standpoint. And I wanted to share this in the event that there's a piece there that is helpful for you as you move through your human experience. And I believe we're all just one, and we're nothing, and we're everything, and there is nothing, and there is everything. And it's a space that has been fun for me to play in, but sometimes a little disorienting. And this piece, for me, really shifted that disorientation and really brought me into a place of peace And I thought that it was worth sharing in the event that there's a piece in there that is helpful for you. We so appreciate you being here with us at Rose Quartz Mediumship podcast. And I hope that you have a beautiful morning, day, evening, or night, wherever it is that this podcast is finding you.